How's it going, everybody? It is Colton here, and today we're going to be talking about the Fender Tone Master Mini. So this is part of Fender's miniature amp line, and they actually have quite a few of them out now. They've been out for quite a few years. They have a mini twin reverb, they have a mini deluxe. This is just the mini Tone Master, so let's get into it. Starting off, we have a 6.5 inch wide by 6 inch tall amp. Weighs about 3 pounds. Actually, not even. It's probably about a pound, to be honest. It's very light. It's got two 2-inch speakers in the bottom half here in the cabinet, if you will. So it actually does get pretty loud. It is powered by a 9-volt outlet. So if you have one that powers your pedals, or if you have one standalone, you can have constant power to that, or it's powered by a 9-volt battery. It actually does come with a Fender battery inside of it already, which is a nice little touch. It's pretty neat. I didn't even know they had those. So anyways, let's get to the specific. This is actually a pretty detailed amp. These run anywhere from $50 to $60 depending on where you're looking at them at. My mom got this for me as a Christmas gift, and I think she spent about $60 on it. So it's based on the later 50s amps that Fender came out with back in the day. They started off with tweed, and then they went to these, and then the black panel amps that we know so much about today. So the details on this thing, it does actually have a real mesh screen on the front here and top. The Fender logos in the corners are actual metal. It is it's pretty well built. There's no creaking, even though it's made out of plastic. It does come with a stand on the back. If I can get it out. It does come with a stand, so you can actually have it leaning towards you, aimed up at you when you're playing. And that's pretty convenient, you know, when you got it on a hard surface, and it even actually stays still on the carpet pretty well. So anyways, let's get to the controls of this thing. So starting off, we have your regular input jack. It's just a standard 1/4 inch jack. Now, as far as the controls up top, so it's pretty simplified for, you know, I mean, it's small, so what do you expect? So you have your gain. Obviously, with your gain, the louder you have that, the more distorted your signal is going to be. This thing is more meant for clean tones given its size. It does get distorted, but it's naturally distorted. You don't need any pedals per se, just because of how loud it is. You know, the speakers can't really handle loud volumes with that much gain. These are really more meant for clean tones. So anyways, the gain is fun to mess with if you want to try things out with a Gibson or a Fender, whatever you choose to play. You have your regular volume knob. Now, your volume knob is your master volume. It does determine how loud the amp is going to get, and it does get pretty loud considering its size. You know, I think because of having the two speakers there, it really does make up for how small this little amp is. Now, the tone knob is kind of interesting. It's more acts as an EQ knob. So the more you raise it, the more your high end is audible, and the more you lower it, the more your low end to mid range stays. I will demonstrate that at the end with the audio clips. And then your power switch is just a regular 2-way switch. You have your on and your off. It clicks into place, so you know when you're on and off. And then it does have a red like LED indicator telling you when it's on. But the build quality of this thing is awesome, dude. You know, I mean, it's plastic, but the handle up top looks like rubber. It looks like a real carry strap, but it's not. You know, it is see-through. But the detail, I mean, you have your corner bumps. The outside plastic is textured like the real amps would have been. It's pretty neat. If you're wondering who this is for, this is for the beginner player, you know, somebody who's just starting out. They don't need the neatest and greatest of everything, you know, just starting. The main aspect is just learning how to play. So starting off with a cheap amp like this is a really good alternative because it at least gives them the tool that they need for their guitar to amplify their sound out, because it does do that, you know, for how small these things are. It also is for the collector of anything Fender. If you're a huge Fender nerd like me, it's cool to have stuff like this around. Like I said, there's others in their miniature line that they have, so it's just fun to have this around, especially if you don't have any amps to play with, or if they're getting worked on. You know, you could take this to the park. That's what's really neat with the battery power, is that you can take this anywhere. All you got to take is your guitar and your cable, and you can crank this out at a park. You know what I mean? So it's really neat for that aspect. And you know, if you're in a setting like me, I live in an apartment, so even though I do have bigger amps that I use, this is perfect if you're somebody in a bedroom at a house, if you're at your parents', you know, and you don't want to be obnoxious. It does actually have a headphone jack, believe it or not. So if you want to plug in your headphones and be even more quiet, you can do that. So for $60, this is actually quite a unit. I will provide a little demonstration at the end with the tone and the volume and stuff like that. So stick around and we'll do that now. Thanks for watching.